Today's Cowboys report is made possible by RexMD. If you ever lack some confidence in the bedroom, RexMD is here to help. You guys can get their best deal they've ever offered, up to 90% off, and only pay $2 per dosage at rexmd.com/chat. We will get to the Aaron Donald stuff, Tony Pollard updates here. But first, if you guys want Cowboys training camp videos, then share this one. We're going to do them, obviously. But I want to do the most Cowboys camp coverage across all the Chat Sports channels, and we need your help to make that happen. Share today's video so I can prove to the bosses they should give it to us and not the Giants, Eagles, or the Raiders, or whoever. We are going to begin with the surprising, I'll call it, Aaron Donald trade rumors. Began with Michael Lombardi, who I've never liked that much. I don't think he's bad GM. I think he gets a lot of stuff wrong in media, but he went on the Pat McAfee Show, which, that's a big deal too, so we have to discuss it. Said that maybe the Rams could shop Aaron Donald. And then Sportsnaut linked Dallas to Aaron Donald. Now, they typically do more like NBA overseas stuff, but still a relevant blog. And though this is a fun idea, it's also July, so we can have fun, right? It would help the Cowboys. I don't know if he's actually on the trade block or what his value even is. So here's what Michael Lombardi reported. Say the Rams start off slow, he says, and they're headed towards Caleb Williams in the draft. Do they trade Aaron Donald to a team at the trade deadline? Because he's truly their only asset. First off, it's not the only asset that they have. That's just not how it works, but I digress. The teams then that were mentioned by Sportsnaut were the Cowboys, Steelers, Browns, and Chiefs. Browns make sense. Dallas would be linked to every big-time player, as they always are. Pittsburgh, maybe with Cam Hayward, a little bit less so. The Chiefs are going to pay Chris Jones. I know they're going to bring on Aaron Donald, but it's Mahomes, so I get it. I want to emphasize this part. I am not sure I buy the Donald trade rumors. Yeah, he's not their only asset. That's wildly disrespectful to somebody like Cooper Kupp at minimum. Maybe he's one of those guys you just make sure retires as a Ram and you don't move on from him. But it sure would be fun if the Cowboys got the other guy they were considering in that draft that has worked out really well for both sides. Cowboys, of course, got Hall of Fame caliber offensive lineman. It would be fun for Dallas. I also think it would be incredibly difficult to actually pull off. I don't think this is an easy deal to make happen because, as we'll get into here more in depth, I'm not really sure what Aaron Donald's trade value is. It should be a lot, but not as much as it would have been 2 years ago because he's older and might not play that much longer. So first off, as we'll go more in depth here in a moment, would you trade for Aaron Donald if he actually is available, be it now or the trade deadline? Y for yes, N for no. If the ad comes here on YouTube, that's fine. Ignore the ad, take advantage, go vote at the pinned comment. It is still Aaron Donald, right? Look, the play regressed last year in part because of injuries. The Rams defense was a dumpster fire. The team was bad overall. Sean McVay was half at the door, then changed his mind. But he's still Aaron Donald. This is still, if you're power ranking the best defensive players in the NFL, I think you could make an argument that it would be Aaron Donald 1, Micah Parsons 2, or flip that order. Like, you would have the best duo in the NFL along the defensive line, and it's not that expensive. Short term, at least. The Rams actually don't save that much money with the way the deal is structured. Cowboys would pay him $13.5 million this year. A little bit less if they move him like at week 5. You would take out the base salary, so it'd be more like $10 million, whatever. $21.66 million in 2024, plus some dead money in 2025. Although I do think there's a good chance that Donald would choose to retire at that point. So you'd only have him for 2 years. And again, as we'll get into here more in depth, that really makes the contract situation tricky, or the trade value situation tricky, because how much would you really give up for 2 years of Aaron Donald? Now, maybe the idea of Aaron Donald and the Cowboys makes you a little bit excited. Well, maybe sometimes you also lack some confidence in the bedroom and you're not quite getting excited the way you're supposed to do. If you wish you could have a more fulfilling sex life, fellows, trust me, you are not alone. That's why we're excited to tell you guys about RexMD, the online source for men's wellness. They offer an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan, and their medication is made in the USA so you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns you may have. If you are ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat to start your consultation today. Take advantage of the best that they've ever offered and get up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. It's rexmd.com/chat. The link is in the comments section and the description of today's show. Starter packs, generic Viagra or Cialis are available to get started. This is what I have cooked up then for Aaron Donald's trade value. Because he is still Aaron Donald, even if the Rams are bad and they're tanking, I still think they would want a first-round pick, knowing if you get Aaron Donald, you're looking at this pick in the 20s or 30s, the late 20s or 30s, I should say. I'll throw in a future third. Maybe you move on from Oso Odigizua instead. I have a tough time actually figuring out what the Donald trade value is. He's an awesome first-ballot Hall of Famer, perhaps the best defensive player of his generation. He's also probably got 2 more years left, and that's it. But he's also Aaron Donald still. I have a difficult time identifying what the proper value is. So I think it's at least a first. We've seen some weird trades. Is worth mentioning, by the way, Donald has a no-trade clause, which does potentially reduce his value if he says, I'm only going to go to these 4 teams. We see that all the time in the NBA, less of an issue in the NFL. Sound off for me, folks, in the comments section. What would you trade for Aaron Donald? Of course, it's all hypothetical. Would you move a first or more? What's the max offer you would give up for Donald? Go vote in the comment section. Let's talk some more Tony Pollard here on today's show. After all, the franchise tag deadline is less than a week away. It's a couple days away now here. Reminder, if the Cowboys do not get a long-term deal done, Pollard will play on the franchise tag. Mike Fisher, a friend of the show over at Sports Illustrated, looked at what the contract could look like for the Cowboys and for Pollard. So we'll break down what Fish had to say and some of the things I agree and disagree with here. Fish writes, it's been suggested that Dallas might offer TP a 3-year, $27 million deal. We've mentioned that. It's from Bleacher Report, Spotrac, etc. Cowboys, we cannot report that as a fact. We've heard nothing about that. But we do look around the league at that type of money other backs are getting. And we see Devin Singletary getting $2.7 million. We see David Montgomery getting $6 million. And we see Zeke and Fournette and Greenmont getting nothing at all. Would Pollard accept an APY number closer to Montgomery's new number, the aforementioned $6 million, than Zeke's old number at $15 million? My problems here are twofold. Number one, Pollard is better than those guys. He's better than every single name that was mentioned in that piece. He's better than David Montgomery. He's way better than Zeke at this stage, better than Hunt, better than Fournette. And although the idea of closer to 6 than 15 is correct, and I think will be true whenever Pollard signs an extension with whatever team it ends up being, right now, Pollard has more leverage. And I'll break down what I mean by that, in particular when it comes to the guaranteed money. But first, if you have not already, please subscribe to us here at the Cows. We will be live on July 17th for the franchise tag deadline. I don't think Pollard's deal will get done. We'll break it down. If he signs a new deal before that, we'll break it down as well. But if you haven't already, hit that sub button for more free Cowboys videos. The big thing here for Pollard is that he is already locked into 1 year of $10 million, actually $10 million and change. That is a significant difference than the deals given out to the top 3 highest paid backs this offseason. Miles Sanders, 4-year, $25.4 million, just under $6.4 million per year. There are some incentives. He got $13 million guaranteed. David Montgomery, 3 years, $18 million, $6 million on average. Only $8.75 million guaranteed. Jamal Williams, 3 years, $12 million, 4 on average, $8.15 million guaranteed. There is zero reason for Tony Pollard to accept any of those contracts right now. He's already getting $10 million. Don't we think that Tony Pollard could get the Miles Sanders deal next offseason, in which he's guaranteeing himself an additional $13 million? Or even, let's just say he barely beats the David Montgomery deal. Let's say he gets 3 years, $20 million with $10 million guaranteed. Okay, in the addition to the $10 million he just got, that becomes, instead of being $320, That's $430. You're beating Miles Sanders, and you're almost doubling his guaranteed money. Because Pollard has signed that franchise tag tender and it cannot be rescinded, and because he's locked into $10.09 million this year, there's really not that much incentive for Pollard to sign what would be more of a fair market deal. In this scenario, if I were Pollard's agent, I would say, dude, let's just play the year on the franchise tag. Like, even if you're getting a guaranteed, that 327 deal, again, that just is 217 next off season with like a 7-ish million guaranteed, if that. I think Pollard can beat that. I think Pollard thinks he can beat that. So it makes some sense for him to not take that big contract right now. So what do you want to do with Pollard? Would you extend him right now, or would you wait and play it out? And maybe the Cowboys would have been better off not tagging him and gambling on potentially losing him. But sound off in the comments. S for sign, W for wait. Before we go, one note from Diana Rossini, also a friend of the show. She reports that Saquon Barkley has made it clear the franchise tag is undesirable. I'm told his availability for Week 1 against the Cowboys will be in serious question if he does not get a long-term deal from the Giants. That's a big deal. Barkley clearly does not want to play on the franchise tag. He wants a long-term deal, but the deadline is Monday. So I think we will know whether or not Saquon is holding out, or at least the threat of it, if a deal gets done. Maybe a deal does get done. The Giants beat the buzzer for Daniel Jones. Maybe they'll beat the buzzer for Barkley as well. In the event he does not get paid, I'll be pretty shocked if he holds out. It's just a bad business move. You can't get a new deal by holding out. You're just making a point, basically. You're trying to maintain your health, but you're also passing on $10 million guaranteed. I would be pretty shocked if Barkley wasn't out there Week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. But as a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't mind it because that means that the Giants are a little bit worse on offense.